Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you very much for coming here with us today in our first IGMENA Hangout series, and I'm really happy and excited to receive many participants from different academic and professional backgrounds and from different countries. We have people from Algeria, Yemen, and Tunisia and Jordan. But unfortunately, today, our participant from Tunisia, Marwan Maid, couldn't really make it because he had yesterday a serious health problem issue. So we hope for him to recover soon. So I should reintroduce myself for you. My name is Hamza Ben Mahres. I'm the policy analyst lead of Hypos Foundation on the Internet Governance MENA region program. And today, I gathered you to really share our perspectives on the very sensitive issue going on now in the Middle East about terrorism, state security, and online freedom of expression for cyber activists. So before kicking off the session, I will try to share with you some logistical instructions. Please try to turn off your mobile phones and put your earbuds and headsets to limit the background voice noise. And I think we'll ask you 4 questions, and feel free to expand on those questions. So those questions will be related to the main theme of our debate today. But before asking you those questions, I would try to give you the floor for each one of you to give us your name, your surname, your academic and professional background, and the experience that you have gained so far in internet governance. Should we start by Ahmed from Yemen?
Hello, everybody. I'm very glad to be with a group of intellectuals and internet governing activists coming from many countries in the Middle East and the North African region. I'm Ahmed Said. I'm a 24 years old public policy analyst. I've been involved with HIFOS for the past 2 years, and I've attended several conferences and workshops. And I'm also an ICANN fellow. I'm selected to attend the coming ICANN meeting in Ireland. Also a member of the new grassroots initiative called the IPA, which gathers internet policy analysts coming from all over the Middle Eastern and North African region.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
So we will turn now to Ahlam from Jordan.
Yes, hello everybody. I am Ahlam Abdullah from Jordan. I'm working as the CCTLD manager, who is responsible to register domain name in Arabic and in Latin. I'm working with the HIFOS. I was selected as a fellow last year and did an online training with them. I attended some meetings with them, like Internet Governance Forum, which was held last year in Lebanon. Now I'm working with them in the project, Internet Policy Analyst. I'm writing some articles there. I have been selected to be an ICANN fellow for the next for the coming ICANN meeting.
It will be in Ireland, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And today I will talk to you about our country, my country, Jordan, and online freedom, the laws, the constitution, the bylaws here, and how it goes. That's it.
So now we have Reem, my neighbor from Algeria.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
First, I would like to thank the IGMENA community for giving me this chance the opportunity to be here with you today and discuss this interesting topic. So my name is Reem Hayat Shaif. I'm from Algeria. I'm a journalist and blogger, and a contributor writing in Internet Governance for IPA project. I'm a HIFOS fellow and also an ICANN fellow. And I'm happy here to join you today.
Yeah, great. And we are happy here to have you all. And so we will kick off now the session. And as we have read in the project concept note, we will try to talk specifically on how civil society and governments in the MENA region can foster a continued evolution of an internet ecosystem that supports human creativity, expression of knowledge sharing, while at the same time protecting interests such as privacy and security. So I will try to ask the first question to Ahmed from Yemen. So can you tell us more about the social and legal status of online freedom of expression in your country? And do most citizens in Yemen enjoy equal online freedoms?
That's an excellent question. Well, the current social and the legal status for internet freedom in Yemen, for internet and online expression in Yemen, is one of disastrous manifestations. I mean, and that is actually more prevalent in a country that is currently ruled by militias, not by a central government. These days, if you're a pro-Houthi activist, then of course they're going to allow you to use social media platforms, have your own creative websites to express their opinions that upholds their case.
Yeah.
But if you're one that supports the legitimacy and one that supports the real role of the government, then they will have you abducted. I mean, recently they have abducted more than 40 or 30 journalists. They had their house raided. They have them abducted. They have them hidden. And until now, we really have absolutely no idea where they have them taken to or what happened to them. So now currently, as I mentioned, there is a real crisis of freedom of expression in Yemen, and things will not be reformed until the government takes back its previous role and starts stretching, its authority all over the country.
But now in Yemen, I mean, the Houthi fighters, they have been actually monopolizing the scene, right? And this is really, they have been like inhibiting any space for online freedom of expression in Yemen, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, great. So now I'll turn to Ahlam from Jordan. I mean, Jordan is a country in the Middle East that have been actually contained by ISIS and other groups that have been really rising in the region. So how does that really influence security in Jordan? How does that as well influence the sphere of offline freedom of expression for activists in Jordan? Because you have some non-state actors and terrorist networks like in Iraq and in Syria, and this has really had really a bad repercussion on the status of online freedoms in Jordan. Can you really elaborate on that?
Yes. I guess before 5 years, 6 years at most, the online freedom, it was more clear and more enough, and a lot of people or citizens are enjoying that because they have all the free to express their thoughts, their ideas, their opinions over different internet on the social media. But now, according to the current situation, because of Iraq, Syria, different countries surrounded Jordan, the government trying to not to censor, but they try to limit this freedom. They try to limit the way we are trying to express ourselves over internet, because it affects the internal politics, and it affects the internal security of the country, which okay, it limits our freedom, but at the same time it makes security for ourselves and for our citizens, because ISIS is trying to get the young people, most of them are youth people, in order to take them to their side, and all of that to them social media, which making good job through that. And what the government is trying to do is to limit this.
Yeah. So the government in Jordan is trying like to limit those online freedoms for cybersecurity actors because of the neighboring environment in Jordan, because of the terrorist potential attacks, and because of ISIS. So this is like has a like gives maybe the government legitimacy while like rising state security in your own country, right?
Yes, exactly.
Great.
Exactly. They are trying to do just to make our country more secure and more safer for its citizens, and trying to avoid ensuring the ISIS here in Jordan as it is in Iraq and Syria, Lebanon, or another country there.
Great, fantastic. So now we'll turn to Reem Hayat from Algeria. So Reem, can you tell us more about your experience in the internet governance? I mean, you have been active, whether locally or regionally or even internationally, to really try to teach yourselves like internet governance values and try really to apply those concepts back in your country. Can you tell us more about your regional involvement in human rights issues and so on, and how you are benefiting from that?
So my experience in internet governance comes from the recent and current situation that we live here in Algeria and in all MENA
Mm-hmm.
region. The
Mm-hmm.
consequences of the internet every day, the bad connection, like in Algeria,
Mm-hmm.
the internet monopoly that we have. Now that in Algeria we have just one provider, one service provider,
Mm-hmm.
the internet. So these things and the fact of the internet in Iran that's doomed by the government because ISIS attack, same thing in Egypt,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uprising recently. All
Mm-hmm.
these things confirm to us the importance of the internet in this hour. And the
Mm-hmm.
internet is the why we are all here today.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that
Right.
people want to look and serious, not straight, and
Mm-hmm.
do something here in Algeria. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying now to create like a peaceful chapter in Algeria
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have it yet. I'm
Mm-hmm.
coordinating with some persons that I get to know them in my
Yes.
meetings that I
Great.
attended. So
Mm-hmm.
for that,
Yes.
I create a blog that talk the only
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
aim is
Yes.
like let's talk about the internet governance only in Arabic. So just like to spread awareness to talk about
Mm-hmm.
the internet governance in Arabic. So
Yes.
all these things we have to that I did, and I hope
Mm-hmm.
that this will make change here in Algeria.
Yeah, correct. So and like you hope that from your engagement really to approach try to change maybe the mindset in Algeria and try really maybe to approach governments and to really try to launch like creative ideas and initiatives in Algeria that can really maybe in the future build a more an inclusive environment for internet governance in Algeria. Great.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I will ask the second question now to Ahmed again. So I mean like prior to the revolution or the Arab uprisings, I mean, do the governments in Yemen take account of the rights and interests of all members of the society, and how did that change after the context of the Arab uprising? Is there really change in government's behavior before the Arab uprising and after the Arab uprising? Can you tell us more about the government's behavior on online freedom of expression and granting these rights for Yemeni citizens?
Prior to the upheavals in 2011, internet in Yemen was strictly filtered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the government for a number of years
Mm-hmm.
kept on filtering websites that has an oppositional political content.
Mm-hmm.
They started with filtering pornography, then they started with political content. But after the evolution and after the revolutions in 2011, Yemen
Yes.
has witnessed a great deal of prosperity.
Great.
For the next 3 years, 2013, 2012, and 2014,
Mm-hmm.
Yemen has witnessed, the opening of several private magazines, of several newspapers, and the internet was largely used as a platform for citizens to voice their opinions. There were bloggers from all political opposition or political oppositional party you can name, and so generally, I mean, and the internet at that time witnessed a great deal of transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, after the Houthi militias took over, then they started, bringing back the practices of the Yemeni government prior to the revolution, and have installed this. They have this idea that if you go against them, then you are naturally labeled as a terrorist. So now they say, well, we are arresting those who support terrorism, whether they were bloggers, whether they were journalists, whether they were activists. Anyone who goes against them is considered
Mm-hmm.
as an inciter of sedition and as a person who supports terrorism.
Great.
Therefore, they have been imposing these restrictions on journalism and on freedom of expression.
Yes. Yes. So I will ask the same question for for Ahlim from Jordan. I mean, prior to the revolution, I mean, can you tell us about the context of online freedoms, and do government in Jordan really took account of people's freedoms and online freedoms before the revolution, and how that changed after the uprisings? Is there any liberalization effect in Jordan, and do the government now grant all or full rights of online freedoms for its citizens?
Yes, yes. Before the Arab Spring, the Arab countries, they were a lot of freedom over internet, as I mentioned before, and there is no limits to what are posting over internet, different media, different social media, even if it's online or offline. But now there are some protection, some limits on that, and according to the Jordan Media Commission, which is the commission which is responsible for the websites over internet. They are restricted some websites, and they are closed some websites because they are talking against to the government orientation. And according to the Arab Spring, they closed some websites. Some of them are public websites like Hiber. We know, most of us
Yes,
knows
yes.
Hiber or
Fiber,
President
yeah, has the
Jordan.
sense.
Yes, it was one of the websites that closed here in Jordan, but now, according to the new law and according to the constitution here in Jordan, it's reopened again, but still limited. They don't have that freedom as it was before the Arab Spring, and I guess this affects the whole country, the whole region, not only
The whole
Jordan.
region. Yeah, right. Yeah.
The whole region, yes.
So yeah, great. So I will turn to Reem from Algeria. Is there any changes after the revolutions and before the revolutions and after the revolutions on the government's behavior granting online freedom of expressions in the region? Do you think that there is a change in your country concerning, or a smooth change concerning online freedoms? And how are you really willing, maybe through your civil society work, to try maybe to change or change the mindset of the local authorities there?
Okay. I see that online media and social network played a significant role in the Arab Spring in changing public opinion. We saw at that time that the concept of citizen journalism had emerged and played a significant role in that period. So the role of the media in all its form, like we know, it's like enabling citizen participation in public debates, increasing effective public engagement with government and other public institutions to ensure democracy and same thing. So what I see that's what should be done to reform our world into terms of freedom of expression is to help to develop the internet freedom policy and support the independent internet-based media. We have to promote respect for diversity and gender issues.
Yes.
Creating a new culture of journalism by improving internet freedom.
Yes.
I think and encourage civil society organization.
Yeah, to be engaged in the grassroots civil society community, and I think that, I think you're willing to do that. I think I think the strategy here should maybe to really try to approach the government, try to go to the government and try to invite them for the debate and really explain for them the context of online freedom of expressions in the country, because sometimes they legislate some laws, but they don't know the repercussion of those laws on the end users. So I think maybe your responsibility in Algeria is to try maybe to go to talk with the government, to try maybe to invite them for the debate, because maybe they're open to do that. But I think this is a very effective strategy to opt for, right?
Yeah, we have in our team to open the ASOC chapter in Algeria. We have one from the government, so we are in discussing this thing.
Great. So when you went to Argentina, actually, you didn't really find any representative from the GAP.
There is no representative for our government in Argentina in the ICANN meeting.
Yeah.
But they were in the Arab IGF and the global IGF. They were
pretty active. Yeah. Yes. So now we'll try to go and to focus more on the state legislations of the on freedom of expression laws in the constitutions in your own countries. Will state legislation include the protection of online freedom in the Constitution? And can you give us example? Is there any legal framework in the Constitution that guarantee online freedoms for citizens in your countries? Ahmed, can you jump on that?
The Yemeni constitution, it has a couple of clauses that stipulate that freedom of expression must be protected. However, there are not, any real manifestations of that clause on the ground. Like I mentioned earlier, like before 2011, the government had several crackdowns on newspapers, especially newspapers that are located in the south, that were accused of upholding separatist movements, and as a result, they were all closed. But as far as online freedom of expression goes, no, nothing of that regard is mentioned in the Yemeni constitution. It only mentions freedom of expression, political participation, but it does not really approach anything in the cyber world. Yeah, only printed materials.
Right. So how are you willing maybe to engage in that, or do you have like more civil society groups in Yemen, lawyers, jurists who are really willing to really try to include that in the Yemeni constitution and fight for that? Is there any willingness to do that? I mean, how can you perceive doing that being outside of Yemen now?
Of course, that's doable, but in order for any society to be prosperous, there has to be security and stability first. So I hope that once things settle in Yemen, which they will hopefully in the next coming months, then there should be a process where the constitution has to be rewritten, and it has to be updated so it could compete with other constitutions of other developed countries around the world. And I would personally seek out the help of NGOs, either locally or international NGOs, so they can push the government to have these clauses included in the new constitution, and therefore we could ensure that online freedom of expression, as well as other online rights such as security and privacy, are enshrined in the constitution.
Right. Yeah.
So we should activate the role of civil society, and that could only be done through, first of all, through having a secure and a better secure security situation. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And we'll ask Ahlam that particular question. I mean, for democratic consolidation, I think we need to really have online freedom of expression laws in the Constitution. Can you tell us more about those laws in the Jordanian Constitution? As in, do you have those laws written, and do you have the legal framework that can guarantee those online freedoms for Jordanian citizens? How and if they are applied or not?
Yes, according to the Jordanian Constitution, it protects the general principle that citizens have the right to the freedom of expression, while allowing for legislative restrictions on this right. According to Chapter 2, Article 15 in the Constitution of our Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, every Jordanian shall be free to express his opinion by speech, in writing, or by means of photographic representation and other forms of expression, provided it does not violate the law. While we are talking about anything that does not violate our laws, bylaws, our norms, does not violate our politics and our royal family, so you are in the green line. Otherwise, you will be punished. You will be punished, and your website will be closed, or you will have to have another license in order to repost in those social media. But I want to express here that according to the Freedom House organization, it found Jordan as another free country, because even if internet is partially free, but the media and the press is not free. Even there's an article in the Constitution, even there is a laws that give us the freedom over internet, but even that is available, but Jordan is not a free country, because you cannot express yourself freely over internet, or even using press and media channels.
Yeah, I think maybe in Jordan, maybe like in Algeria, there is maybe a legitimate concern from the government to whether even in Tunisia, Algeria, or Yemen, to really try to emphasize state security. And but I think that those governments, they should not really use that legitimate concern to violate the fundamental human rights of their citizens. So maybe we have like rising now ongoing conflicts in the region, but I think that this is not should not be should not legitimate governments really abuse of the human rights of their citizens. I mean, Reem, what is like the situation of the constitution in Algeria? Do the constitution really enshrine rights pertaining to online freedoms in Algeria, and or maybe they have those kind of flaws, but it remains at the theoretical level. They are not really applied. And how are you? Maybe you see yourself maybe involved in making those rights applicable on the ground and benefit like the success Algerian society to really benefit from those laws and rights.
Algeria, other.
Mm-hmm. Reem?
Your second question about what should I do to you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. To ensure that for the society, so we are trying to spread awareness about these things in Algeria, and we have launching a project, doing like trainings, internet governance. We created this infrastructure will be like a good thing for the internet users.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yeah.
this is our.
Yeah, your aim is so you don't have an ISOC chapter in Algeria, but your aim is to really try to open the initiative and try to launch the initiative in Algeria with an aim to really build a more inclusive civil society participation, and to really try to maybe defend those rights in Algeria, which is great. So. Fantastic. So we move to our fourth question. I will turn to Ahlam from Jordan, and I know that you are a CCTV manager in Jordan. You have a technical background, and can you think about the policies that you can provide for example, new avenues for blogging, journalism, and new publications that can really represent a new platform for NGOs and citizens to express themselves, engage in the debate, and mobilize themselves against government human rights violations. So how can you use, for example, the technical background coming from like our CBTD manager to really try to build a more inclusive sphere for NGOs in Jordan, and use blogging, journalism, and other avenues for publication in your country?
Most of the NGOs and other websites, other civil society websites, which is trying to express themselves freely over the internet, they are trying not to get Jordanian domain names in order. I am talking now as a technical person. They are not trying to get a Jordanian in Jordan, and me as a CCTLD manager, I can just close that website and just get out of the connection, and they will not be accessible inside Jordan, but inside Jordan, sorry. But they are trying to get domain names outside of Jordan, and they're trying to get the hosting, even the hosting, the technical issues outside of Jordan, so the Jordanian government will not be able to make any. Yes, and they are not that websites. That is from a technical perspective. But I'm talking also, I want here to just express something else, that we are here in Jordan. We are trying to establish something called the Jordanian Internet Freedom Alliance, which is trying to make awareness for the citizens about their internet rights and how they can use it without being violated or persecuted by the government or by another one, because there are some rights which are protected by the human rights laws over.
So it's a coalition of civil society and yes, and NGOs. So NGOs, civil society, and communities like working.
Yes, exactly. And we are trying to make our best in order to make awareness sessions to as much as we can for the citizens in order to know their internet rights and to how to use them without making any problems or anything for themselves or to be violated by or persecuted by the government.
So Ahmed, from Yemen, I know that you have the public policy as well background, and can you think as well of the policies that you as a Yemeni citizen can really opt for to try to provide new avenues for blogging, journalism, and new publication in your society, and how can you really use new platforms for social media or NGOs that can really engage citizens in human rights debates and approach the governments to try to find like a common strategy to really fight for end users' rights.
In terms of the situation in Yemen, as you can understand, it's totally different from other countries in the region because we're still lagging behind. So before we think about policies, we should firstly, we spread awareness about the importance of internet and how is it used in our daily lives, and how has it transformed the lives of people, and how other concepts as security and privacy can be applied to it. So I think that the first move should be capacity building, and it should be spreading awareness. After we spread awareness about the importance of internet, about anything that relates to it, then we can push the civil society and we can push other civil actors to act and find other venues, and we would certainly will be able to achieve success. But but we're still lagging behind, and as a result, we need to firstly advocate about the importance of internet and further facilitate its utilization, so we can further come up with other policies. We cannot, jump up to a level that is advanced while we're still facing difficulties with the basics. That's how things, apply when it comes to the Yemeni context with regards policies and for finding venues for bloggers and journalists. So, we're still in the first stages there.
Yeah, and the same here. I mean, the narrative about Tunisia is seen as the role model, maybe, or in the region because of the partial or total consolidation of the path toward democracy. We had a democratic elections, a rule of law, and some accountable institutions, and we have really vibrant now and strong civil society. But I think the ongoing now attacks in Tunisia that are really threatening. And that happened of the country that are really threatening the status of online freedom of expression, privacy, and censorship in Tunisia. And yesterday, for example, the National Constituent Assembly discussed the new law of the anti-terrorism law and money laundering, with a proposal draft from the Tunisian government to try to go back to the 2003 terrorism law, under which many political figures were tried before under the previous regime. And of course, we have been now on one ongoing issue as well with the Article 32, the Constitution of the Access of Information. This bill is being withdrawn, and now this raises concerns about the freedoms that we gained during the revolution. And I think that now we have to be creative and look for the policies and engage more civil society and the discussion and into the debate. I think so. So I mean, Tunisia as well is not really that different because we are now and still like living state security issues and like ongoing terrorist attacks between Tunisia and Algeria and in the Tunisian soil, and that's really affects access to information law and the anti-terrorist law that the government now want to amend and want to implement. I mean, in Algeria, can you talk more about civil society and the networks in Algeria that exist already to really try to incentivize the role of bloggers, of journalists, and really try to advocate for their rights in Algeria?
Yes, Reem has been disconnected.
I think Harim has disconnected.
Yeah, she just messaged me on Facebook. She has some technical issues. She's trying to rejoin now.
Okay, right. So we have now the final question about online intermediaries or the spaces in your country that can provide a new area for online human rights. I mean, online intermediaries can take various forms. They can include search engines, social media, or application platforms, and they constitute, I think, from a policy perspective today, a digital environment that can really shape the public debate and the public network sphere in your country. And so I want to ask you, how do you see yourself engaging with those online intermediaries and really try to use those intermediaries to really build a constructive debate with your government locally? I will give the floor to Ahlan.
I guess government has to make some or establishing new forums or opening spaces in order to let the activism and the bloggers and journalists, cyber cyber activities in order to express themselves and in order to express their opinions and ideas, because of that they will have more people who are with her, not against with him, not against the government. For that, if they are trying to open these forums sessions, I don't know, I don't have a lot of ideas about that, but I guess government has to accept those opinions, have to
Yes.
accept those local activism over internet and over different social media, because they will reach the environment of our countries, my country and the region at all.
Yes. So is there, you're working with the government institutions and technical institution, is there any reform to be put on the table concerning CCTLDs in Jordan and building a new areas for those online intermediaries that can really give more incentives for end users to use the internet for an advocacy purpose? Is there like a hope?
Yes, there is a Communication Regulatory Commission is publishing an end user manual for the internet end users. They have to read it, and they can find there a lot of things that helpful for them according to their rights, according to technical issues, according to many things that can help them if they are trying to make something violated the laws or the constitution, or if they have been called by the government that they are trying to do something against the laws or the constitution. So there's some awareness sessions or awareness materials or brochures that are published for the internet end users, but I guess still it's not enough. They have to make more, and they have to promote about that issue in order to make the people more aware about all the internet and online freedom.
I will turn to Ahmed. Ahmed had his technical problem. I was asking a question about the online intermediaries or the spaces in your country that can really provide new areas for online human rights activism for bloggers or online journalists or for public policies like yourself. And I was telling, like, online intermediaries can take various forms. They can be search engines, social media, or application or apps platforms. And those applications, they really constitute the new digital environment that can maybe transcend some governments' violations of human rights. So how can you take those online intermediaries into account and use them to try to advocate for human rights or online freedom of expression in your country?
The only, I suppose that the most common online intermediaries in Yemen are pretty much Facebook and Twitter, because internet, you know, it's still a new thing in Yemen, and according to some of the articles that I have mentioned recently, it has been mostly installed in main cities, in large cities. So in other areas around Yemen, they can barely access Facebook, and that can also apply to major cities. So what oftentimes bloggers and activists in Yemen, they can express their opinions and voice their concerns through social media platforms such as Facebook, and some of them, like not all, but some of them rarely use Twitter. Yes, some of them also use YouTube, but that started recently after the current crisis that erupted in March.
Yes.
But yeah, so I suppose like pretty much I can only think about Facebook. You have politicians that use Facebook. You have heads of political parties. You have bloggers. You have activists. Other than, but there are other websites that have been blocked, and some bloggers used to utilize these websites like
These
Meta
websites.
Press, like Meta Press, like Yemen Press, and other news agencies websites. Yes, but now since Facebook, it's the only operating social media tool along with Twitter. So it's the most common platform used in Yemen nowadays.
So, Reem, can you tell us a little bit about the environment in Algeria, civil society environment? Do other networks and NGOs really exist and really defend internet governance rights for citizens, like human rights and online freedom of expression? And how do you think online intermediaries like search engines, YouTube, social media, and application and apps platforms can really help you in your work and your everyday engagement to really try to advocate for human rights and try to advocate for online freedoms for end users in Algeria?
So as a journalist living in Algeria, we have like interest in defending human rights, online human rights. Like in Algeria, we don't have like a very active civil society, especially on online freedom of expression. There is no like any NGO or foundation or something like this that defend human rights or freedom of expression or try to make the internet, the environment or enabling internet for in good or better here in Algeria. But I think that the government should be present and should take decisions like when we see our government and the global IGM, the Arab IGM there, he have to engage in the discussion and taking decisions. Not only attending the meeting and
Yes.
after we have nothing like change here.
Yes, and can you tell us more about the online intermediaries in Algeria, like your use of YouTube and Facebook and social media in general, and how can you use that for advocacy? Because Algeria has the lowest rate of downloads and broadband connection in the MENA region. How can you use an online platform for civil society activism, and does it really help you in Algeria?
Yeah, we use like YouTube, social media, but it's not really working. We know that the internet connection in Algeria is very bad. There's some region who's still not connected until that time.
So internet is not decentralized to those regions. People. No. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So I will really ask you a final question, and I will begin by Reem. Now I will go back to Reem. So if you like try to imagine and conceptualize the internet after like 20 years or 30 years in Algeria, how do you see it, and how do you see the end users in Algeria using the internet?
You can't expect anything in this angle, but we wish that the situation will be good and better. The internet will be decentralized, to have many internet service providers, to have a better internet. We're trying to make that, so I wish it will be better than the actual situation.
Great. Same question for Ahmed. If you imagine the internet in Yemen, maybe after 30 years or 40 years, how do you see the internet, and how do you see end users, and what is the role of end users using the internet?
I'm very positive that in the coming few years, Yemen will witness a paradigm shift. Things will be more secure. It's going to be more stable, and we're going to have a constitution that takes under consideration online freedom index, online freedom of expression. That also takes considerations for privacy. It's also consideration for for security, and there will be some serious reforms. Yeah, as long as things are stable, as long as things are secure, Yemen will really witness some tremendous reforms.
Yes.
And that's what I hope for my country, and I think it's going to happen soon enough.
So the same question we'll finish with Ahlam. How do you see the internet in Jordan into 20, 30, maybe 40 years time? And how do you see the end users, the role and the responsibilities of end users in your own country?
I guess that internet in Jordan will be very perfect after this time period. According to what are the government and the internet service providers are trying to work now, according to the planned projects they are trying to do, they are trying to upgrade the infrastructure, they are trying to upgrade the data centers here, they are trying to upgrade their tools and equipment that will enhance the internet speed and will enhance the internet prices. And according to what they are trying with the end users, they are trying to make them and give them the required awareness sessions and information required about internet freedom and the internet rights. I very good and perfect for all the users because they are trying all together to enhance the internet in MENA region and in the world as a whole.
Yeah, great. So that's it. I mean, it's the debate was really great, and I'm really pleased to have had incredible participants, and like the fact of sharing your expertise and ideas is really great. I have heard different perspectives from different countries, which really added to the debate. Well, we would like to produce a summary now of all of your interventions and of this first Google Hangout, and keep tweeting and sharing. I mean the Google Hangouts that we had, and I hope to see you soon. And thank you very much for coming today. I know that every one of you has his or her own professional responsibility, and I think really I congratulate you for coming here. And I have learned as much as you did from the debate. And thank you very much. And do you have any final thoughts to add? Reem, maybe.
Thank you, Hamza. Thank you all for attending this hangout. I just was interested, and yes, the debate is very interesting. The questions are related, and they are very sensitive according to our countries and according to our region. And thank you, Hamza.
Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Ahmed, do you have any? Yes, thank you very much, and see you soon. Yeah, see you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.